People say that the eyes are the mirror of the soul, but what happens when they reveal more than you want to show? SKaras thought he had found a quiet place at the boot club, until he met Nijime, a girl with eyes that change colors according to how she feels. And what seems like a gift hides a truth that she has been trying to make disappear all her life. As Kara Sudami entered his book club room, mysteriously someone was waiting for him. It was a girl named Nijime, and as he looked at her, the color of Najime's eyes changed. The first time Karas met Nijime was when he just arrived at his school. He was a transfer student, so he didn't know anyone. He joined the book club to have something to distract him. At that time, he noticed a strange girl. It was Nijime. At that moment, when he looked at her for the first time, her eyes made a strange change, with a color too dull, as if she had no soul. But still, she was someone friendly. One of those days, as Karas arrived to the club, he noticed that Najime's eyes were now different. That day they were blue. He thought for sure she was one of those girls who wore colored contact lenses, but some time later, a long time later, he began to notice that her eyes were in every sense a reflection of her soul, reacting to her emotions. Each color was a mood. When she was having fun, her eyes were light yellow, almost golden. Karas noticed this and thought she has a disease or something genetically rare, but he didn't care. He understood that she was something special. Already in the present, Najime's eyes changed color again. Now they were blue. And the reason for this was that Nijime feels some concern from nothing more, nothing less than Karas, because that day he had arrived with a wound on his face. And Karas noticed this and explained to her that it was nothing, that she should not worry about. Karas told Nijime that he has asked the other students about her eyes. She did not answer, but then she told him that she knows she's a little weird, but she cannot control it. And at that moment, her eyes changed color, back to a dull tone. Karas noticed this and apologized, but Nijime tells him it's nothing, and begins to tell him that when she was a child, her doctor explained to her parents that she was born with a disease that made the color of her eyes change according to her emotions. The doctor said it was the first documented case in history, and she was even on the news at that time. Since that happened, this made people approach her, curious to see the chameleon eyes of the strange girl. It was just morbid. Nijime continues to tell Karas that it left her with some traumas. She had never received so much attention. Then, some time later in her adolescence, she noticed that if she did not react or show any emotions, her eyes remained normal. At least, that's how she felt. Since that day, she tried to hide or repress all her emotions. She just wanted to be normal without anyone else coming to see her weird eyes. Even so, she enjoyed being with Karas. He was the only one who didn't see her as a mistake of nature. Karas commented to her, saying that he already noticed her change of color, and he felt some curiosity, but he didn't do anything because he didn't want to bother her. That's why he asked her now, and then he apologized to her for saying this. Nijime, she asked him to not apologize. She was weird. It was obvious, but for Karas, she wasn't. She was unique. As Nijime heard this, her eyes began to change color to a strong shade of pink. It was the first time they had turned this color, clearly meaning something more than a simple emotion. Nijime tries to hide this and asks Karas to not look at her like that. He's making things worse, but Karas couldn't help it. It was the first time he saw her like this. Nijime said nothing more and just resigned herself to remain silent, staring at the only boy who did not see her as a strange creature.